Hey everybody, Payments Professor here, and today we're going to talk about erroneous and unauthorized RTP payments. Erroneous and unauthorized RTP payments. How's that happen? Well, I do want to let you know I am referring to the RTP operating rules. And if you go look up in the RTP operating rules, you're going to find what is an unauthorized or erroneous payment. It will be listed as an error might occur at one or more points during an RTP payment that results in the payment of an erroneous amount, payment to an unintended receiving participant or receiver. Also, it could be a duplicate payment. Additionally, the RTP payment may result from an unauthorized payment instruction or payment message being processed through the RTP system. It can also be commercial RTP payments with respect to erroneous and unauthorized RTP payments that is not subject to the Electronic Funds Transfer Act. The rights and responsibilities of the parties for an RTP payment in that case are going to be governed according to UCC Article 4A, and that's going to be of the New York Uniform Commercial Code applications, and that's where that will be in the extent of it. And we'll have more of that in further videos of what rules and regulations cover it. Okay, consumer payments though, of course, they're going to be governed by the Electronic Funds Transfer Act. So that really means that it's going to be out of the system. Put in other videos, the request for return of funds. Request for the return of funds is further described in Rule 7 VII Section C of the RTP rules. The RTP system provides a mechanism to participants to send and requires that you respond to a request for return of funds. It does not require that you return the funds. I want to make that clear. But there's always a required response whenever a message is sent. And the request for the returns of funds can be for any reason, including unauthorized or erroneous RTP payments. Now, I do want to note it further goes in the rules, and it states that cooperation among participants with respect to unauthorized entries in RTP payments without prejudice to the rights of the responsibilities of the parties to an unauthorized or erroneous payments are again going to be under UCC 4A or under the Electronic Funds Transfer Act, depending on whether or not we have a commercial parties involved or if we do have a consumer involved. Participants shall reasonably cooperate among themselves and with the clearinghouse in attempts to address and recover unauthorized and erroneous funds. Now, a participant has the right, according to the rules, and it's Rule X, Rule 10, to enforce the RTP operating rules against any other participant in connection to or with an erroneous RTP payment. I also wanted you to know it further goes on to say the clearinghouse shall not be a party to any dispute between participants regarding liability for erroneous or unauthorized RTP payments. That determination shall be left to the participants, including through any available dispute resolution and or judicial process if necessary. Unauthorized RTP payments caused by the clearinghouse, that's a little bit different though, are in addition to the limitation of the clearinghouse's liability in the RTP participation rules. The clearinghouse shall only be liable for RTP payments if such an RTP payment are unauthorized and the RTP payment were caused by dishonest or fraudulent acts of the clearinghouse itself. What does this all really mean? Will there be erroneous, will there be unauthorized RTP payments? I gotta say they're gonna be there. It's gonna happen. How's the dispute gonna work for that? There is the request for funds that allows you to be able to send a request for funds to the other party involved to an attempt to be able to get the funds back. Is it a guarantee that you'll get the funds back? No. Right now, in multiple payment channels, we have problems to where there are no guarantees, or what guarantees there are depend on the situation and depend on what happens. So what I believe is going to happen is as we move forward with real-time payments, faster payments, and really with all payments, we are going to see disputes. How will those disputes be resolved? It is going to depend on whether or not we have consumers involved or if it's between commercial organizations. And why is that important? Because that's going to determine whether or not it's going to be a dispute according to Electronic Funds Transfer Act, or Reg E, or if it's going to be something that's resolved based on what we already know when it comes to working with UCC 4. And that's where we're going to rely on the industry and what we've seen historically as far as court cases is what we've seen in other payment channels on how those items are resolved. Now, if you got any questions, you got any comments on this, I would love to hear them. Please put them in the comments below, send me a message, or you can email me, Kevin@paymentsprofessor.com. Other than that, hope you have a fantastic Faster Friday.